What's going on, my trainer club? Today we're going to look at part 2. What Pokemon are going to become irrelevant in some point in the near future that are very impactful for lucky trades right now. So welcome to the trainer club. Here we go. Welcome back, everybody. Let me know in the comments below, what did you think about the video yesterday? Did you check it out? And did you see the bulletproof, relatively bulletproof, because nothing's really bulletproof and it all depends on the moveset, Pokemon to lucky trade? Because today what we're going to do is I'm going to go over and give you some really impactful Pokemon to lucky trade for one, but I just want to make you guys aware that these Pokemon are more than likely going to be taken out in the near or somewhat near future. So I want to make sure you guys are conserving your resources when you choose to power stuff up. But like I said before, even if these Pokemon are taken out, they are still going to be the second or third best option, which means that they are still pretty impactful. They're not going to become irrelevant, but they are Pokemon that are going to be coming after them, that are going to be taking them out soon as far as the #1 rankers, as long as they get the right moveset. There's always a chance that a Pokemon could be really good in stats and not get the right moveset and not take out a Pokemon. So we're going to look at all those Pokemon right now, including some Community Day Pokemon, which we're going to start off as #1. #1 Pokemon that I would highly suggest that is a pretty good option for you guys to lucky trade with your lucky friends is going to be the Shiny Salamence with the Community Day move of Outrage. This Pokemon is absolutely dominant, it's pretty prevalent, and it is going to be the second best dragon attacker in the game, right behind the Rayquaza, which you can also do. However, there are Gen 5 dragons that are coming out in the future, probably somewhat more near future, that are going to take out both of these Pokemon. So you can also throw in the Shiny Swampert with the Hydro Cannon, or even regular Swampert, but since you're doing a lucky trade, you might as well get a lucky shiny. So Swampert is going to be Hydro Cannon for the Community Day move, and it is going to be the second best water attacker in the game, right behind Kyogre. Two Kyogres actually, one with Surf and one with Hydro Pump, because Surf is going to be #1, Hydro Pump #2, #3 is going to be the Swampert with the Hydro Cannon, which is definitely very effective. And then for the fire attackers, for the Community Day, we can definitely do the Blaziken with the Blast Burn. It has to have the Blast Burn on the Blaziken, which is going to be behind two other Pokemon that we're going to look at in the next category, which is going to be our legendary Pokemon. Then we have two Pokemon that I'm going to recommend. It could be either Sceptile or the Venusaur Shinies from the Community Day with Frenzy Plant. I absolutely love the Frenzy Plant, but these Pokemon also will be taken out as far as really good grass attackers in the near future. But those are some Community Day Pokemon, and I know the list is short. You can also do Tyranitar. However, there's a better dark attacker and there's better rock attackers out there right now. But if you so desire, you can do the Shiny Tyranitar with the Smackdown and Stone Edge combination for the rock, because that's going to be the Community Day exclusive move that makes him a relevant rock attacker, even though Rampardos is more powerful. So now we're going to switch gears and we're going to get into the legendaries. These legendaries are going to be super impactful as of right now. Most of them hold the #1 spot. However, in the near future with the Gen 5 dragons, they are going to be taken out very soon. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to check them out, and then we're going to compare them to the Pokemon that are going to be potentially taking them out as far as stats go, like we did in yesterday's video. I hope this helps, guys. I just want to make you guys aware of this, because a lot of people may be out there lucky trading for some of these Pokemon, and there's nothing wrong with doing that, because I don't suggest you guys stack up on too many lucky friends, because you always have potential to hit lucky friends with that person. Again, the one thing I do want you guys to be aware of, don't overdo it by going in and getting like 5 shiny Raikou lucky trades and then maxing them all out, and then we have Zekrom come out in the near future, right? So that's where I'm trying to help you guys out. I'm not saying not to lucky trade these, because they are impactful. I'm just saying not to put a ton of dust into them, and making sure to know that we have potentials in the near future. As we just mentioned, we have the Raikou, which is the #1 electric attacker right now, which is going to be outtaken by the Gen 5 dragon of Zekrom. Zekrom is going to be dragon and electric, and it has beastly amazing stats. So let's check out the comparison right now. Comparing the Raikou with the Zekrom. So I'm really impressed by the Zekrom stats. All these Gen 5 dragons are super amazing. I can't wait to see how they actually pan out in the game. However, the current Raikou electric attacker, the #1, is going to have an attack of 241, beat out by the Zekrom's attack of 275, a defense of 195, beat out by 211, and a stamina of 207 that is 2 points higher than the Zekrom, for the Zekrom's max CP of 4038. Like I said, they could definitely get nerfed, but man, these stats are looking mighty promising. Really, really powerful electric and dragon unique combination that we have not seen before. Pretty crazy. Next, we are going to have Entei. Entei is going to have a shiny potential. It is the #1 fire attacker. Right behind it is going to be Moltres, so you could say Entei or Moltres. Shiny Moltres with the Sky attack is actually going to be the premier move because it does a ton of DPS as far as the attacker's standpoint go. But Entei is going to be taken out by the Reshiram, which is going to be a Gen 5 dragon, as well as Volcanion, which is going to be what we looked at yesterday, but that's not until Gen 6. But Gen 5, which is going to be this generation, has the Reshiram, which is going to be the fire dragon, which should be super impactful, and if it gets the right moveset, it can take it out. So let's compare their stats right now. Next, we're going to check out the Entei compared to the Reshiram. So if we're looking at the attack of the Entei, 235, and the attack of the Reshiram, 275. Defense of 171 on the Entei, defense of 211, stamina that it's going to outweigh at 251 compared to 205. However, with the attack and the defense being pretty high, I believe that this would probably weigh out in the favor of the Reshiram, and I can't wait to see how this pans out. And the moveset that it does get, it did look like it was potentially going to get the Fire Spin Overheat combination, which was very, very dominant as far as the Entei goes, and something that would definitely keep it as the new #1 fire attacker. And then next we have the Mamoswine. So Mamoswine sits as the #1 ice attacker. This is going to be really impactful for a lot of dragons, right? It's going to be really good. However, the one thing you do have to realize is that we have the Kyurem coming out very soon that is going to be dragon and ice. And this Pokemon stats are absolutely insane. So let's check out the comparison right now, because if this Pokemon gets anything ice related, that's like a double ice, there's no chance for the Mamoswine to stand up because of the stats. So let's check those out right now. As far as the Mamoswine, Mamoswine's a beast Pokemon, and it has a pretty high 3328 max CP. It's got an attack of 247 compared to the Black Kyurem at 310. So that's pretty beastly. A defense of 146 compared to 183, and a stamina of 242, which is relatively high, but is actually going to be beat out at 245. So this Pokemon is an absolute monster at a Dragon Ice combination that can do a tremendous amount of damage, especially if it does get the move. Unfortunately, I did see that it was going to get Blizzard, so that's a 1-bar charge move. So I can't wait to see how this actually pans out, comparing the Avalanche combination with the Powder Snow and the Blizzard combination of the Kyurem. And I know a lot of you guys are like, Mamoswine was also a Community Day Pokemon. However, the Ancient Power doesn't really hold weight as far as anything you can utilize it for, unless we're talking about it as a PvP, maybe going after the Team Go Rocket Grunts to go ahead and waste some shields. So next we're going to look at the shiny Rayquaza. I know everybody's like, where is the shiny Rayquaza in this? Because it's the best dragon attacker. However, Kyurem, same Pokemon that we just looked at for the ice, is also going to potentially outtake this Pokemon because it has the highest DPS times TDO in the game right now. I know its stats are broken. It's probably going to get nerfed some, but even if it gets a 10% nerf, it's still sitting well above the shiny Rayquaza. So let's go ahead and compare these two massive dragon attackers right now. And we have the Rayquaza versus the Kyurem. So I chose to pull the white Kyurem. Attack of 284, really, really high. Really, really high. I believe it's the 9th best attack in Pokemon Go. Compared to the Kyurem at 310, which is absolutely sane. And then the defense of 170 beat out by the defense of 183, and a stamina of the Rayquaza at 213 that is going to be smashed out at 245. So this is why I'm saying that these Gen 5 dragons could really change some things in Pokemon Go. And next we have Groudon. Groudon is the #1 ground type attacker, and it also has a shiny form. However, it does have a potential competition coming soon. That's going to be the Landorus Therian form in Generation 5, which does have potential to come out sometime in the near future. We're not exactly sure what the time frame looks at, but let's compare the stats right now, and hopefully they'll get movesets to match these beastly stats. Next, we are checking out the Groudon compared to the Landorus in the Therian form. So there is definitely some stuff in here. As far as the Groudon's attack, it's going to be at 270. The Therian is going to be 289, so it's going to be beat out by the attack. However, the defense of the Groudon is going to be 228 compared to the defense of the Therian Landorus at 179. And the stamina is going to be exactly the same. However, this Landorus actually does get the Earth Power moveset as far as right now. So if it does maintain this with this combination of pretty relatively stacked up stats, even though the defense is lower, it would definitely put some weight and probably take over the top ground attacker spot in the game. And then we have Moltres as the reigning supreme #1 flying attacker. However, we do have some competition for the Moltres coming very soon. We have Tornadus in the Generation 5, and then as well, in the future generations, a little bit further out there that we looked at yesterday, we have Yveltal. So both of these Pokemon are going to be competition, but let's focus on the Gen 5, the Tornadus versus the Moltres. Let's check the stats out right now. And next, I thought it would be cool to compare the flying types because Tornadus is coming out. So the Moltres, 251 on the attack, which is pretty relatively high, 266 on the Tornadus, really cool. The defense 181 is going to be higher than the Tornadus's at 164, and the Moltres' stamina at 207 is going to be higher than the Tornadus. So this is one that potentially could stand in the Moltres' favor. The attack is a little bit higher. It's definitely going to be heavily dependent on the moveset that the Tornadus does get, but it's definitely something to consider. And the shiny Sky Attack Moltres is a legacy moveset because it came out for the 3-hour raid day. So make sure if you're trading the Moltreses, and I would prefer that it be the shiny form, and additionally I would say that it must have the Sky Attack, but then that's going to require you to unlock a second charge move if you're going to use it as a fire type attacker, because you do not want to get rid of TMing the Sky Attack, being that it is no longer available. And finally, we have a fighting type category. I know you guys are like, where is the Lucario and the Conkeldurr, which is going to be right here. You can even throw Machamp, even though he's the 3rd in the list right now. So think about this. These Pokemon are pretty beastly. However, we have Pokemon in the future that are going to take it out. So there's 2 mythicals in Gen 5, which is going to be the Meloetta in the Pirouette form, as well as the Keldeo, both mythical Pokemon. So unfortunately, we won't be able to lucky trade these guys. So as far as lucky Pokemon go right now, this should be a pretty safe bet as far as the Lucario and the Conkeldurr. So this is going to be safe to do until we get into Generation 7 for the Buzzwole. Buzzwole is an absolute monster. So I just want to take all this into account, compare the stats, and then we're going to circle back and I'm going to give you my recommendations. Let's check it out. Our final comparison is going to be here. So we have the Lucario, and we're going to compare it to the Meloetta. So the Lucario is going to be 236 attack compared to the Meloetta with the Pirouette form, 269. So it's going to get beat out. It's going to beat it out on defense, and it's going to beat it out on stamina for a total max CP of 3915. So unfortunately, like I said, these two are mythical Pokemon that we're going to be comparing, so they cannot be lucky traded unless something in the future does change that. So we are pretty safe in the fighting category with doing our lucky trades as of right now. Obviously, the Lucario at some point will get a shiny, as well as the Conkeldurr. I believe, and my theory is that the Lucario, as far as the Riolu, will be in some type of research day, and the Conkeldurr could potentially be a community day. So if we're going to look at the Conkeldurr in comparison, it's got an attack of 243, going to be beat out by 269. It's going to have a defense of 158 that's going to get beat out by 188, but it's going to have a stamina of 233 that is going to be above, only by a few points, of the Meloetta. So it's definitely going to get beat out if these stats maintain the same. So next we're going to pull out the Keldeo for an attack of 260, defense of 192, and stamina of 209. So it's definitely going to beat out the Conkeldurrs both, but the stamina is going to get beat out by the Conkeldurr. And as far as the Lucario goes, it's definitely going to be beating out in most of the category. But then I just wanted to throw this last one for fun. I mean, Buzzwole, not only is this Pokemon extremely cool looking, it is an absolute monster. An attack of 259, a defense of 216, which is smashing the Conkeldurr at 158, and a stamina of 237 that is a little bit above the Conkeldurr. This Pokemon, with the right moveset, would be an absolute monster. So I hope this helped, guys. These are Pokemon that you may consider doing lucky trades. I still advise them. However, the one thing I would be cautioning you guys, as we'll talk about in a moment, is doing a ton of powering up in this regard. What do you guys think? There's a lot of Pokemon in there that are going to have some really beastly comparisons that are going to compete with them for the top spots coming out in the somewhat near future. So I just want to make you guys aware of it. This isn't telling you not to do your lucky trades, because I highly suggest, and like I said, we don't have an exact time frame or a timetable for any of these Pokemon, so to wait a year to do this would not be effective. I'd rather have you have a couple other lucky Pokemon and maybe even 100% shiny lucky or a 98 or anything that's really impactful, and then you can power it up with a lot less Stardust. That's where we're really going to focus on. But also, you just want to note, maybe not maxing out a team of like 6 or 9 of these Pokemon would be in your best interest. Maybe like 1 or 2 or 3 could potentially work, but just save the dust, save the rare candy, slowly start to build that up, because we have these Generation 5 Pokemon that are going to really shake up a lot of things, and I'm really excited to see, number 1, the movesets, because that obviously will make or break a Pokemon, and then number 2, to see what their stats remain, because these stats are right now, there's all potential for them to get shaken up, nerfed, and to become something that may not be as impactful as we're speculating right now. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think. If you want to check out yesterday's video, check it out up here, of my top relatively longevity safe lucky trades to do. These ones are a little bit less safe. So if you really want the safest bet to last the longest, those are going to be it. But if you want to also do these, you can. And then any other Pokemon you can do as well. Just make sure you guys have functional Pokemon as your number 1 priority. And then after you have all your functional Pokemon set up, go for your vanity Pokemon as well, such as any of the shinies that you may like, may want to have, and you can lucky trade them as well. So I appreciate you guys, all my likers, commenters, subscribers, and Patreon members, for taking their subscriptions to the next level. I'm going to see you guys out on the next video. Peace! I just want to take a moment and sincerely thank all of my Patreon members, everybody that has taken their subscription to the next level and chosen to support me on this platform. I greatly appreciate you guys. As a growing channel and really trying to grow and improve as much as I possibly can, I really appreciate the extra support. You guys mean the absolute world to me. I cannot wait to connect with you soon, and I appreciate you guys all for being a part of the Trainer Club. I will see you guys out on the next video.